Hello students, this is Geethanjali and today we'll be doing taxonomical aids from the chapter 11 world. So what are taxonomical aids? So taxonomical aids is nothing but those methods which help us in classification and identification of organisms through specimens, right? So these specimens are, are a great source of importance to taxonomy because these aids, or you can say these aids through which we get the specimens, they act as the primary source for our taxonomic studies and research, right? So these primary sources can be both plants, animals, and various other organisms, right? So let us dive into the various taxonomical aids that are present that we use to understand taxonomy. So first is herbarium. Okay, so what is herbarium? So herbarium are nothing but sheets. Okay, are nothing but these sheets that you see. In these sheets, so basically a plant is basically dried and pressed against the sheet, and it is preserved in such a way, right? So, and these sheets also contain a label here. You can see here. So they contain things like information about the specimen, like the botanical name, the English name of it, or the collector's name and the family name or the date of collection, like that. So these are actually very portable because it's just a sheet, right? So they're very quick source, quick and portable reference source, right? Now, coming to our second taxonomical aid, that is botanical gardens. So many of us would have visited botanical gardens, right? So we have seen how they grow the plants there, and they put the plants for display and show, right? So the plants are grown and monitored here, and they're also put for like sometimes for show also, right? So we have seen there also there are labels which contain the information about the particular plant, right? Like the scientific name, or you can say the family name, the family to which it belongs, or any special character that it has, or from which habitat it comes from, and all that, right? And there are few famous botanical gardens. So you have one at Howrah, okay, Indian Botanical Garden, and Indian Botanical Research Institute, which is present in Lucknow. Okay, and one of the largest botanical gardens is also present in Kew, which is there in England, right? So these are few botanical gardens and their locations that you may know. And next, we have zoos. Okay, we have zoos. So we all know what are zoos, right? So animals are under the supervision. Okay, they are kept, they're monitored closely and kept in environments that closely resemble their habitats, right? Sometimes they're captured and also kept, right? Sometimes they're captured too. So why is this called ex situ? I've written ex situ here. So ex situ means outside their natural habitat, and in situ means inside. So example for in situ will be natural sanctuaries, suppose, right? Now next taxonomical aid that we have is our museums. So I guess we all have been to museums too. So we have seen historical museums, and space museums and all that. But biologically speaking, the museums that we are speaking about are those with specimens of plants, skeletons of various animals, and all that. Even wet specimens are found. So these basically, they are present in preservative solutions. Okay, they're present in preservative solutions. Example of preservative solutions, like suppose formalin is a good preservative agent. It basically preserves and slows down the decay processes. And we have seen boxes also, where the insects are killed and pinned, right? Killed and pinned in the boxes, like the butterfly collection. You would have seen cockroaches collection and all that. And even large animals specimens are, they are stuffed and preserved in containers, right? Okay, so let's go to another taxonomical layer, that is the key, which is a bit unfamiliar. So, what is this key? Key is basically another aid which focuses on the dissimilarities and the similarities between the organisms. So, what do I mean by this? So let us see through an example. And also, keys are very analytical in nature. That means you have to analyze. So how is it analytical in nature? Let's see through an example. Now here I have a picture which basically helps us to understand what is key. Let us say we have an organism. Let us say we have a snake. Okay, so now you know how a snake looks, right? So there's basically, let's say there's a picture of a snake. Now you will be asked, has it fur? Does it have fur? No, it doesn't have fur. Feather? No, it doesn't have feather. So it goes to another question. Does it have external fertilization? No, it doesn't have external. It is internal in snake. So again, another question is asked. Does it have gills? No, it does not have gills. So then we land up with the answer, that is reptiles. Now let us say we had frog, okay, instead of snake. So the same, we would have followed the same set of questions till here, right? When external fertilization question is asked, we would have gone for yes and would have got amphibians. So this is how basically keys work, okay? So a set of different characters, okay, it has fur or it does not have fur. So such questions are basically asked, and such questions are yes or no questions, and based upon the answer, we get the further questions, and we finally get to our uh, class to which our organism belongs to, right? So here are few terms, okay? One is couplet. So couplet is actually a set of contrasting characters, okay? Does it have fur or it does not have fur? So basically, these are contrasting traits, right? Not having fur and having fur. So that is basically a couplet. Now coming to lead. So what is lead? Okay, any statement in that particular couplet, okay, any individual statement in the pair, that is the couplet, is called the lead. So it has a fur is a lead. It does not have a fur is also a lead. So in case of snake, the lead that we chose was it does not have a fur. So that is basically a lead. So the next lead, that it does not have a feather. Next lead was uh, it does not exhibit external fertilization. The next was it does not have gills. So these were all the leads that led us. That's why it's called lead. Okay, so that's why it led us to the uh, matching class, that is the reptiles. So this was about key. Now let's go to the other taxonomical aids: flora, fauna, flora, manuals, catalogs, and monographs. Right. So what is basically flora? Flora is a piece of writing or a book that contains information about the habitat and distribution of plants of only that area. Okay, only that specific area, and not all the plants that is available. Right. So when we say flora of India, so all the plants that are present in India, the kind of habitat they prefer, and the distribution of those plants, right? Next is manuals. So what are manuals? Manuals, again, a piece of information which helps us to identify the names of the organism. Suppose we have a few characteristics of that particular species, and according with that we can identify the names. Okay, so next is catalog. What is catalog? Catalog is nothing but alphabetical order of the name of species of a particular space. Okay, it can have only plants, it can have only animals, it can have both, right? And next is monographs. So as the name itself suggests, so monographs, mono, right? It says mono. So information about any one taxon. What is a taxon? Yeah, taxon is any taxonomic hierarchy. So it can be a class, right? Or it can be a family, right? It can be anything, right? So if it contains information of any one of these, then it is called a monograph. So these were all the taxonomic aids that we used.